Welcome back everyone to another video on World of Warship Legends, and today we're going to be looking at another efficiency guide to get you through these weekly challenges as quickly as possible so you can get a step closer to getting the new Tier 7 US battleship Georgia. So this is week 2 of the Havoc missions, and every week throughout the Havoc missions the endurance trials just get a little bit harder. Now you have to complete the endurance trials before able to do the shakedown trials. So diving in here, we have 5 different stages of the endurance trials. Stage 1, earn 5,000 XP. Stage 2, earn 600,000 credits. Stage 3, earn 4,000 base XP. That one's going to be tough to do in game. You're going to have a pretty phenomenal game to do that in one game. Stage 4, earn 550 global XP, and then stage 5, earn 7,000 commander XP. Now the quickest way to get through these endurance trials is going to be picking your favorite ship from tier 3 to tier 7. Now the higher tiers will give you higher XP, higher credits. Tier 6 is going to be your sweet spot for your credits, so getting a tier 6 premium. Base XP. If you play higher tier ships, you're going to have higher base XP most of the time. That's not always true. It always depends on the individual factors of the game that factor into that. But then boosters are going to be your friend getting through these. So starting with the regular XP, stage 1, 5,000 XP. Pick your favorite ship. I would recommend tier 5, 6, or 7 if you have them. Put on a epic XP booster. Go out and play your heart out. Stage 2, getting the 600,000 credits. Run a tier 6 premium ship. If you don't have that, tier 5 tech tree ships are the way to go. And then make sure you put an epic credits booster on the games. You should be able to knock that out in one game. And so that gets us through the first 2 stages. Now, the stage 3, the real tricky one, earn 4,000 base XP. So that's your scoreboard at the end of the game. Run your favorite tier 6 or tier 7 ship. Now the boosters will not help with this one, but that's okay. Just play 2 or 3 games. You should be able to get there with no problem. Wins also help you quite a bit, but even if you're first place in your team, you're still going to have a decent XP score. Then the last 2, earn 550 global XP. Throwing on a epic global XP booster will get you there, and then earn 7,000 commander XP. That's just as simple as playing a game and putting on a epic commander XP booster. Now the shakedown trials. Those are a little bit more interesting this week. Kind of looking forward to these. Looks like we have a total of 4 shakedown trials, and this is going to be take 2 on this video. Wargaming announced some changes. So the weekly shakedown is going to be, first one, destroy 15 ships. Second one's going to be deal 300,000 damage to battleships. Number 3 is going to be deal 150,000 damage to cruisers. And number 4, deal 50,000 damage to destroyers. Now you can be driving any ship when going for these. Originally, the notes had stated that you have to be driving each class to get this, but Wargaming did issue a correction to the patch notes earlier this morning, so we're going to go with the updated versions now. The nice thing about these is that you can complete all 4 of these at the same time, and I think moving forward, so I originally had a breakdown of the different battleships I'd use, different cruisers I would use, and different destroyers I'd use. Instead, I'm going to go a little bit different route. So to get 15 kills, I'm not going to focus specifically on that one. I think that will happen in the progress of chasing the specific damage to the battleships, cruisers, and destroyers. So starting off, if I'm looking to deal 300,000 damage to battleships, I think cruisers are going to be best suited to knock out this mission quickly, but not everyone likes driving cruisers, so I'm going to go ahead break down the best ships I think at each class and tier to accomplish this in a hurry. So beginning with tier 7, the carrier is what I'm going to start with, and that's going to be the Parzival tier 7 German carrier. That thing is so strong, so easy to deal damage. I think it's going to be extremely difficult to to deal with. So go with that against BBs. If I'm driving a battleship, I'm going to go with the Massachusetts because you get that secondary, you get some fires from the secondaries, and then you're just slinging the AP with the main guns. Going with the cruiser, it's going to be Kutuzov. And then finally, with if I'm using a DD at Tier 7, it's going to be the Udachi. Moving on to Tier 6, there are no carriers at Tier 6. So dropping onto the battleship, I'm going to go with the Nelson. Nelson is one of the strongest battleships at the tier. It is a little vulnerable if you're driving it wrong. It's easy as Citadel, but you can drive it to mitigate those type of incoming damages. For the cruiser, it's going to be the Belfast. I think Belfast, again, getting that smokescreen radar combo really allows it to go after every class of ship. And then finally, with the destroyer, I'm going to go with the Benham. The Benham has 16 torpedoes, can absolutely wreck people. Even though they are low damage, they get a decent reload rate and allow you to get twist and track with the build. Moving on to Tier 5, carrier is going to be the Wesser, Tier 5 German carrier, Battleship California, Cruiser Budiani, and Destroyer Fubuki. All these ships are extremely strong, capable. Pick the one in the class that you are most comfortable driving and just start dealing damage. And then Tier 4, no carriers, so we go with the Giulia Cesare on the battleships, Marblehead for the cruiser, and Kamikaze, perhaps the most overrated, overpowered ship in the game for its tier at Tier 4. Alright, for Shakedown Trial number 3, we must deal 150,000 damage to cruisers. Now for this one, I believe the battleships are going to be best equipped to handle this mission in a hurry. But again, we're going to go down the list and the ships that I would pick specifically to deal damage to cruisers. Starting once again with the carriers, Parzival, nothing's going to change that. High-speed torpedoes, bombs capable of hitting the Citadel. I still think it's the biggest threat to cruisers. Battleships, I'm going to be looking for more of an accuracy build, low reload time on my battleship. Vanguard, that might be a little bit of a strange pick, but I think it is strong specifically for this mission. For cruisers, I'm going to be going with the Baltimore. Baltimore has the ability to tear cruisers to shreds. If you have the Wichita, that works just as well. And then going for the destroyer I would use to get damage on cruisers is going to be the Akizuki, Tier 7 Japanese gunboat. It can Citadel nearly every cruiser at the tier and absolutely tear them to shreds. Moving down to Tier 6, for the battleships, once again, I'm sticking with the Nelson. Whether you're using the HE or AP, it can tear through the cruisers. For the cruiser at Tier 6, I'm going to go with the Shores. It has a relatively flat arc, able to really penetrate into the citadels of other cruisers, and you can also burn them down if need be. And then finally, the destroyer at Tier 6. The Polish Biscuit, the Bliss. It's a Tier 6 premium gunboat, and the guns has 7 total. Allows you really to rein in the shells and get damage piled up. Moving on to Tier 5, once again, stick with the German CVs, the Wesser. If I'm looking at the battleships, so this one, I'm going to go with the Fuso, having a high number of guns that are capable of just hitting the Citadel and deleting cruisers off the map. Fuso is my go-to. The cruiser is going to be the Pensacola, the AP-HE combo. Pensacola makes this such an easy mission going up against fellow cruisers. And then finally, the destroyer at Tier 5. I'm going to go with the Monaghan. Strong guns, able to Citadel cruisers, and then also has the torpedoes that are decent damage, not the best, but very serviceable. Finally, with Tier 4, I'm sticking with the Giulia Cesare, the Marblehead, and Kamikaze. You just can't beat those. The Kamikaze getting the torpedoes in the water every 40 seconds is just such a huge threat to any ship. Alright, last but not least, deal 50,000 damage to destroyers. I'll put the ships that I would choose up on the screen above. Basically, though, this is going to have a lot more to deal with matchmaking. There have been a lot fewer destroyers in games lately. And then as well, it's going to have a lot to do with your target selection, making sure that you're shooting at destroyers when they pop up, and making sure that you're doing your best to mitigate any chance of them getting close enough to launch those torpedoes. But that's all we have for today. If you guys watched the first version of this, I apologize. Wargaming put out a correction to the notes earlier this morning, so I came in, edited the video real quick to try to get it out there. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, please leave those down below in the comments. Really like hearing from y'all, seeing what you like and don't like. If this is your first time coming to the channel, consider hitting subscribe. We'll have a lot more videos coming at you shortly. Have a good one.